The Houston Astros are back in the playoffs. October, here we come. They scored 3 runs in the first 2 games of this series, but they won both games. And now they still have a chance to win the AL West. We're going to talk about this, tonight's game, and tomorrow's game in the finale of an exciting, exhilarating, and somewhat stressful 2023 on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we have you guys for our daily Locked On Astros podcast. It's October, baby, and we are definitely going to be having daily podcast out there because the Astros, for the 7th straight season, are going back to the playoffs, and they have now tied for the 4th longest streak in MLB history of going to the playoffs. This is now, I don't know if we can call them a dynasty, but this is one of those established teams that have keep on going back to back to back. And you know what else is established? You, our listeners. You listeners come back every day and listen to us, no matter if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We see y'all listening to us at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what you're doing, but we appreciate it. So thank you for becoming everydayer and listen to us on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us and go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. And Brett, did I already do our introduction?
You totally missed the intro. No, right, you totally skipped over it, man. I'm super pumped.
I'm Eric Huysman. You find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Shows. You can find the show at Locked On Astros. And this other guy with the orange super glasses on is
I'm H-Town Wheelhouse. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. And whether you love my analysis or you hate it, I'm glad you're here. We welcome all fans and from all walks of life, and we do appreciate you commenting during the show. We appreciate you interacting with us on the YouTube channel. Again, whether you agree with us or not, that is not our goal. Our goal is not to please everybody. Our goal is to put out the most listened to Astros podcast on the planet. Eric, we are very close to last year's 1.3 million downloads number, and I anticipate us breaking through that by the end of this year. So because of those record numbers, once again, this year, I want to tip my cap to the fans. I want to tip my cap to the first-time listeners, people who just joined us this year. But, Eric, this season, I mean, you look at the 2005 season, you look at the 2015 season, those seasons remind me of this season. Now, this season, when you use the word excitement, for a lot of people equals stress or angst or uncertainty, or we just don't got it this year, or we don't deserve October, to here we are. They won today, 1-0. I really didn't think they could win this game 1-0, but they did it, and they did it behind solid pitching. One of the things I want to talk about, I also want to talk about Martin Maldonado tonight, and then Jose Abreu. I mean, these are 3 people that if you don't have these 3 guys in the game, you probably don't win this game.
And I saw Brian McTaggart. We'll go and give some of Jose Abreu's stats in a little bit, but Brian McTaggart put that out on the X, and a lot of people responded and said, "But Brian, does that make up for all the money he stole for the rest of the rest of the season?" It does not matter. This dude has 88 RBIs on the season. He's still had up to 18 home runs. This guy has done more than I think he did last year in terms of home runs, and I think we haven't seen what this guy can do in playoffs. Did you see the way he hit today? That was a line drive, and he had almost the exact same line drive yesterday.
He did.
And if this guy gets on fire like Yuli Gurriel did last year in the playoffs, I don't care what he did in regular season. If we have World Series or playoff Jose Abreu, I'll take it. I'll take it all day, man. I'm just super excited about this because this was a very stressful game. I mean, a 1-0 game in a game that you must win. I mean, I guess we didn't really have to win this game, but when the Mariners already were losing bad, and the Blue Jays already won that game, and the Blue Jays clinched, the Rangers clinched, so pretty much the AL is already set. We'll go ahead and talk about that in a second. But there is a chance. There is a chance that the Astros still could be on top in the AL West. And so we'll have to talk about the different scenarios too.
Yeah, well, what's great is there's only two different scenarios that can come out of this. You either get the 6th seed or you win the West and you get the 2 seed. And look, I know that you and I have opined about this. You and I have talked about this. Randy's talked about this with us. Mike Stanton's talked about. I mean, this illustrious list of guests that we've had with Robert Flores, and everybody's kind of acquiesced to the 6th seed. But I can tell you with confidence from where I'm sitting that I believe that if the Astros do find themselves in the position where they clinch the AL West on the last game of the season, by the way, they have clinched on the last game of the season 5 other times in their team's history, dating back to 1980, which is a pretty cool thing to look into. But the Astros clinching the AL West and putting themselves in the 2 seed, okay,
Right.
then they would play the winner of the Rangers and the Twins. I don't mind either one of those opponents, and I don't mind having home field advantage in the playoffs because in the past, we've been able to win. This last year, we won at home in the playoffs. And so I know we have to go off what this team is this year, and I know this team is not last year's team. No one's comparing 22 to 23, completely different roads. But this team has really started to show up and show out, even with only 3 runs in 2 games. Sometimes in baseball, you don't score 8 or 9 or 10 runs. And this is an offensive game. The game has changed. The ERAs are up. The home runs are up. The RBIs are up, right? The runs scored are up. And that's because of the way they've manufactured baseball with the altering of the rules.
Right.
But dude, Justin Verlander passed Phil Niekro tonight, I believe.
Yes.
On the list because there's Phil and Joe, so I want to make sure I get the right
12th
Niekro
all time. Oh no, sorry, he ties.
He tied him. Yeah, he tied him tonight. And that's huge. But Luke, Justin Verlander, Eric, he came back to go back to the World Series. He didn't come back here to lose out. He didn't come back here to fall short. And tonight he manned up. Now, there were a couple balls that he gave up that were really long, and I'm very thankful for the cavernous center field of Chase Field, right? So that did help us. This ballpark is huge, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so he only pitched 5 scoreless innings. He threw 94 pitches. He struck out 5. He walked 3. He surrendered only 2 singles. One of them didn't leave the infield. So he didn't give up a lot of hard hits. Yeah, he gave up the deep fly balls and everything, but hit-wise, only 2 hits. It just wasn't he threw a lot of pitches in this game, and Dusty Baker with the playoffs around the corner, he may have to pitch on short rest in game 2. We don't know the situation. We'll talk. They just made an announcement about who's starting the game tomorrow, and the Astros going for AL West. We'll talk about how the Astros can still win AL West in a second. But Justin Verlander, I think this was a great trade. The Astros, yes, they gave up some great prospects, but that's what they are. They're prospects. We don't know what's going to happen down the road. Seth Beer, where's Seth Beer right now? And so there's just a lot of, Joshua Rojas is with the Mariners now. And by the way, before we go on to a break, I do want to talk about the Mariners. Props to the Mariners. The Mariners have put on a great season. They fall short, but they gave the Astros a run for their money. They have some great pitching. They have some great young hitters. They have a great bullpen. But unfortunately, they just couldn't get it done at the end. And the Astros, despite all the struggles, they somehow were able to eliminate them and do what it takes. Now, the Mariners, they owe us something. And they owe some revenge to the Rangers for eliminating them.
I think they would disagree with you. I don't think they owe us a dang thing after we beat them 2-3 in the bad blood that's been between these ball clubs. I like the sentiment, but I don't think they will do that. Look, Ibotta is a great sponsor that we have. It's football season. Yes, I know we're talking baseball, but it's football too. That means pizza, wings, and so much more. And the weather's getting cooler. Yeah, in Houston, it's only 90 degrees. It's cooler. It's basically fall here. With Ibotta, you can get cash back on winter coats, hats, gloves, scarves that you'll all be wearing into November. here, or maybe February, March, but the holidays are near too, which means you got a long list of gifts. Why am I talking about all these things? Because the average Ibotta user earns $100 per year. Why just go shopping and blow the money and just remove it from your bank account and not get anything back? They pay you back. They pay you back through PayPal, through gift cards, even into your bank account. You can go to places like Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora. So download the Ibotta app today and use the code MLB and start earning today. When you use the promo code MLB, you can start earning today. It's free. The Ibotta app is IBOTTA. Check it out today. And make sure that you are listening to the Astros and the Diamondbacks play tomorrow for the possible AL West clinching victory if the Rangers get taken care of tomorrow at 2:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you catch all the hometown play calls on SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Astros.
All right, so Dusty Baker did announce before the game, he was asked, well, is Christian Javier going to start the game tomorrow? And Dusty Baker was like, I don't know, man. It just depends on what the situation is and if we need to do it. So it was confirmed after the game. So he said he would probably not have Framber Valdez available on short rest, but if it was a win or go home scenario, he said he thought that could change, but now that it's not a win or go home scenario, that's not going to change. So I think Christian Javier is going to be in this game. And so Christian Javier will be pitching for the Astros to have the bye during the wild card series. So here's the scenario. The Astros, A, need to win tomorrow, and B, the Mariners need to win. So the Mariners are our best friend right now. There are guys that we're going to be rooting for tomorrow. All the games start basically at the same time tomorrow. And so we got to root for the Mariners for the first time all season. Go M's.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that enthusiastic about it. I just hope they win. So what are you doing? You okay?
I'm choking.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on. So Dusty did say afterwards with the press, he said, we did a champagne toast after the game, but we are focused on tomorrow and a possible division title. So they're not going to get sloshed. They're not going to get 3 sheets to the wind tonight and go out and party and do what they do when they celebrate. They're going to say, you know what, we still got business to take care of it. And that's what I think this team should do. The Diamondbacks get in irregardless of their loss because the Reds lost tonight. And so because of that, they are in. So both teams clinch on a 1-0 game. That is baseball. Bryan Abreu looked shaky tonight. He did not have his best stuff, but Martin Maldonado, I know he had a couple pass balls, and I know he was getting crossed up on some pitches, but Eric, he was throwing out runners. He was using the machete, and the play where he goes to second base to get out Alek Thomas, that was massive. That right there was a key moment in the game. That was a game changer. And you can be critical of the negative 18 runs that he's worth behind the plate. You can talk about his declining defensive metrics and how Yiner should be in there and all this stuff. But if you do that and you don't stop and at least recognize that tonight he had a hand in this win, then you're simply showing your bias against him. Okay. Nobody on our broadcast has ever said it has to go to this guy or that guy. But we know that Yiner Diaz gives you a better opportunity to plate. We know that he's got a hell of an arm behind the plate. But Martin Maldonado, good for him. This is a run that he has been on. For him, it's been a tough season. He has had people come at him, come at his family, and that is ridiculous. That is never okay. And you know what? For all the haters out there, if you hated this man so much, number one, stop cheering for the team. Number two, karma is a you-know-what. And Martin Maldonado won out tonight. Congratulations to him. Justin Verlander would be my player of the game, but if I'm giving a player of the game because of someone who really affected the game, I'm going to have to give it to Martin Maldonado, even over Jose Abreu, because those plays were key during this game.
All right, and guys, I'm not being political about the Mariners here. I'm not becoming a Mariners fan.
No,
I am
he's
just
not. He's
saying. I'm
yeah, we want him
saying.
to win. Yeah,
Can you see this? I,
I
I
believe.
had a birthday card. I'm believing in the Seattle Mariners for one day because we need the AL West. And if the Mariners are able to do this, it would help the Astros so much. And to get that AL West, I mean, because they hold the tiebreaker. Yes, the Astros are one game behind them, but they hold the tiebreaker over the Rangers. So I am not all of a sudden becoming a Mariners fan or being political or anything. I am really rooting for the Mariners because they
Oh,
can't hurt us anymore.
get this. If we win tomorrow, okay, and if the Rangers win, all right, then the Rangers obviously are AL West champs. It throws us to the 5th seed. Toronto lost.
Okay.
Toronto lost today in extra innings. So we're tied. So actually, no, they own the tiebreaker over us, right? Toronto owns the tiebreaker over us because So
they
this
did
is
lose. Okay. I thought they won.
yeah.
Okay.
No, they lost. They lost in the 10th inning. I was watching it. It was heartbreaking. So we are actually tied. Our records are 89 and 72. If we tie tomorrow, if they win and we win, and then the Rangers win, then we still have the 6th seed. We don't go to the 5th seed. The only way we would move up in seeds, it is. The only way we'd move to the 5th seed is if Toronto loses, okay? Right. So Toronto loses, we could go to the 5th seed. I was not realizing that. Then if we get to the 5th seed, that means we would be kicked down to the other side of the bracket and have to play Tampa, and then the winner of that series would play the ALDS in Baltimore. So there's actually 3 different scenarios in play here. I thought there were only 2. So we get the 6th seed, the 5th seed, or we win the West. At this point, I would rather win the West. I want the West. So go Mariners, go beat them, go Julio, go whoever's out there on there, going for you. Josh Rojas hit a walk-off home run. Send Seattle, give them something to cheer about. I will say this: that is a land of heartbreak, man. They haven't seen a World Series. I think they're the only team. Aren't they the only team left that has never made a World Series?
I'm not going to.
Okay, I'm going to look that up because I think they are. I think they're the only team that has not been to a World Series, which is really, really crazy.
Yeah, so Yuli Gurriel is going back to the playoffs as well with the Marlins, so that's awesome as well. But it looks like the playoffs are set in both leagues. Just in the AL, it's just got to decide. I mean, it's going to come down to game 162. And that's awesome. This is playoff. This is what you like. I think this has been stressful for Astros fans. What's going to happen? What's going to be the end outcome? But Christian Javier has got to be on top of his game. And he's there. JP France, by the way, we do need to say that what happened was apparently his wife had some dehydration and had to go to the emergency room in Phoenix. Nothing major, but if I was married and my wife was having issues, I would want to go do that. So,
and I assumed it was something to do with her because she's pregnant with expecting their second child. Yeah, but that's good that it wasn't anything major. So thanks for
meaning that you could definitely have maybe JP France in game 1 or 2, or you can have probably Farmer Valdez start probably game 1 on pretty normal rest. But it just depends on which way they decide to go. But I would say Valdez in game 1 of a wild card series if we go that route, or if you win AL West, you have a little bit more time to set up your rotation. Wouldn't that be nice? So.
Well, look, here's the thing.
I can't say go.
It's okay. You've already said it. You don't have to keep saying it. I mean, then you're gonna destroy your own argument because you said it like 15 times. But we get it. We know who we want to win tomorrow. But here's the deal. We are going to have to, in tomorrow night's show, talk about the playoff roster. And really, I think there's only one question mark, and I think that's in the starting pitching staff. And I think there's one pitcher that we thought would be on there this year that I don't think is even going to make the playoff roster this year, going into the first series. And so we'll talk about that, implications of that, and who else is who's on and who's off. But Kendall Graveman tonight, Eric, Kendall Graveman's given up 8 hits in his last 9 outings.
Right.
And so in 7 innings, he's given up 8 hits. I don't like the trend I see with Kendall Graveman. I need Kendall Graveman to be more locked down. He's not being locked down, Kendall Graveman. And so we definitely need him to be that. But look, if you are looking to Sunday, there's not only baseball, but there's football. Let me tell you about FanDuel. Snap into action with the NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's right. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in the action. The app is easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. And if you've seen the young rookie quarterback, CJ Stroud, you know he's going to throw some touchdowns. JJ Watt's going to be inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Houston Texans. So why not go to FanDuel and lock up your picks today? Just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon for this NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. And listen to the Astros play the Diamondbacks on Sunday, 2:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch the hometown play calls on SiriusXM. Go to the SXM app, search Astros. I want to say shout out to some of my friends. I want to say a shout out to my friend Kevin, Cassie. I want to send a shout out to my guy, Paul, he's out there, him and his brother. Wynn is out there, the sign lady who's out there down the third baseline. There's a lot of really cool Astros fans that have made it out to Phoenix. The train guy is out there. It's really cool to see a lot of Houston fans. You could hear him say, "Let's go Astros" at the end of the game. So shout out to you guys, and, props to y'all for getting out there.
Yeah, I think this is actually kind of odd that both teams kind of clinch at the same time. It's very rare that a team clinches with a loss, but that's just how it happened for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are a good team, but somehow with Jose Abreu's 3 RBIs in the series, the Astros have won both games. And a lot of people have, we've all criticized Jose Abreu throughout the whole season, but he has 88 RBIs. He had 26 in September. He has 26 in September. So, but also if you're looking at what his extra base hits, he had 28 in the first March through August. Now he has 13 RBIs. March through August, he had 62. In September, he had 26. That was a 422-foot double for Abreu today. So if you're looking at what he's doing right now, he's hitting the ball with command. And I believe that an outfielder made a great play on him to rob him of another double earlier in the game too. So I think that the Astros are, yes, it was frustrating in the beginning of the year when Jose Abreu was kind of struggling, but if he is going to turn it on like we've seen it recently, I'm fine. I mean, you want more consistency, but
but what you did in April or May or June or July or August doesn't mean jack crap on September 30th. Here, put that back up, so I want to answer that question. Okay. So Jesse's saying, Brett, you think the Astros can sweep the D-backs and the Mariners winning tomorrow against Texas? Last time you said it was a long shot in another show, so you think it can happen now? I absolutely think it can happen now. Now, I said it was a long shot because I didn't see the Astros coming into Arizona when they also had their playoff spot on the line, them losing at least one of the games. I thought the Astros could come in here and win the series, but you've got the first 2 games. I absolutely believe they can sweep, and I absolutely believe that the Rangers can fall off. Look, here's the issue the Rangers have. The Rangers had one of their major pitchers, John Gray, go down. He's on the 15-day DL. They are almost out of starting pitchers. I mean, they're going to have to start pitching Corey Seager and Marcus Semien in some of these playoff games if they make too long of a run. And so where the Rangers are kind of limping into the playoffs, I mean, if we take the West on the last day of the season and we take that momentum and that feeling, and the Astros are like, we're right back where we are supposed to be, there's nothing in front of me that worries me about this team. Because like Mike Stanton said, and like Randy McIlvoy said, the Astros get in the playoffs. Nobody wants to play us.
Right.
Nobody has more playoff wins.
I've been saying that. Yeah, I've been saying that.
And that is just one of those things where I really, really like the position we're in. It's going to be amazing. And I'm not a big division gear guy. Like, I don't go out and get division shirts, but if they win tomorrow, I think I'm going to get one. I think I'm going to get a division shirt because this to me would be one of the most savored division wins, I think, in team history. And I'm still riding this narrative. I said to y'all at the beginning of the season, the Astros have a chance to go back. And when they go back, and when they get there, it'll be one of the most sweetest things that we've ever seen in the history, in the 60 plus year history of this team. And so I'm like where we're at, Eric. I'm feeling really good about Sunday. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about Sunday too. I'm glad. I love the way MLB has gone to every game basically starting at the same time, so you don't have to wait until like the 7:00 ESPN game or whatever it is for that game to finish to clinch. You can go and clinch right now. I remember those old days, but this team has gone through so many different issues throughout the year, and there's been times that we're just like, I don't know if this team's ready, and I don't know if they have the pitching, mostly the starting pitching. There are some question marks. Jose Abreu, he really showed his stuff the other day. Like, came out of nowhere. Maybe it was because there was very little time for him to think about it, and he just went out there and did his stuff. But I just think that the Astros need to figure out A, who's going to be in their starting rotation, and B, I'm all about the John Singleton story, but I don't think he has a place on the playoff roster. The Astros don't typically use a lot of their bench anyway. I think that you'll probably see Gray Kessinger on the postseason roster. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, but you could see Hunter Brown on the roster as a reliever. But somebody who can pitch multiple innings.
But whose place is he going to take?
Yeah.
I mean,
you keep on bragging on Graveman, and don't forget that Souza is not even eligible for the postseason.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I know that. No. Well, yeah. And Kendall Graveman does need to be better. Right. That's all there is to it. But I definitely want to think about it. Someone said I'm looking like Paul Wall. Well, I don't have the grill, but maybe, you know what? Maybe I should get to that what's his name shop, Johnny Dang, go down there and see if he can make me a grill for free and be like a Paul Wall wannabe. That would be awesome. Get some grills, Locked On grills. What do you think, Eric?
I'm not sure, but the Diamondbacks are jumping in the pool, celebrating after they clinched.
Oh, they are. Oh, well, good for them.
So the Astros are having a muted celebration because they know that they still have business.
So should the Astros jump in the pool if they clinch the division tomorrow?
Yeah. If they clinch the freaking division, yeah, jump in that pool.
But okay, but is it the same if you're in this? Like, do you remember what team was it that jumped in the pool when they beat the Diamondbacks? Who was that? They got like so much crap for that. It was a National League team, and they beat the Diamondbacks, and they jumped in the pool to celebrate. I just don't know that it has the same effect. You're an American League team. I don't know. Look, I've been to that stadium. It's a great stadium, dude.
If the Astros do this, come back from as far as they were down and win the AL West, yes, they need to jump.
Let's look at game times. Well, let's look at game times. 2:10 for the Astros. Okay. Do we realize, and this is chaos, okay? Every game is at 2:10 tomorrow.
That's what I said.
I know, but I didn't realize every game. Literally, I didn't realize that, Eric. I know you said it.
It's 2:07 and 2:10.
And I've heard it all day, but I literally didn't think that every single game.
They do that on purpose, though. Everybody ends at the same time, basically.
Yeah. Well, they did that on purpose, and you know what? It disrupts the NFL a little bit. I mean, they've got a rival with the NFL. So, no, they do.
If you're a baseball fan, you're watching your team clinch.
I'm just saying. I know you can watch your football team or your baseball team clinch. They're getting people to choose allegiances. And Eric, I'm excited about this new Space City network. They said they're going to be creating a lot of extra content, not just the games. So I'm excited to see that.
And that starts tomorrow, October 3rd.
But tomorrow, Eric, we have two shadow boxes for the pitchers tomorrow. Have we heard anything officially tonight? Did you say earlier that it's Javier?
It's Javier. Yeah.
It is
I don't
Javier.
know who's
Okay.
pitching for the Diamondbacks. They technically don't have to throw out an ace. They're probably going to wait for since they're a wild card team, they're going to wait for the wild card.
Oh,
series.
yeah. No,
It's probably going to be a bullpen game, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Bullpen
And
game.
I do like the shirts. We haven't talked about the shirts. Take October. It's very simple.
I like it.
And I know that's probably what they're using across baseball, but
it's a league-wide. It's a league-wide shirt.
But I like the orange and the Astros H.
So tomorrow,
okay,
does Kyle Tucker get his 30th home run? He's got 30 stolen bases. Oh, he better. Like, what are you gonna do if Kyle Tucker doesn't? You're gonna like come down on him? Kyle Tucker, you're gonna go to timeout.
Well,
so Kyle
problem is all that pressure is gonna be on him to do that, and he knows this is his last game.
Yeah,
there's no game 163. It ain't gonna happen. So
he struck out 3 times tonight. He has not. He looks like he's unsettled at the plate. He doesn't look. To me, he doesn't look like he's having fun.
Right
in the box, and so hopefully we can get past this. But Tucker, go out there and get 30 home runs, dude. Let's go.
So the Astros just need to go out there. Let's have some more fun tomorrow. Let's clinch the AL West. Let's go ahead and have a bye through the wild card series, which is silly anyway. 3 games, all in the same ballpark, and let's just go and take care of those. So I think that the Astros need to have some fun, and we're glad that you have fun with us. 532 people have been watching this podcast live. So thank you for this. Thank you. We really glad that you are watching live. Go subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Astros, or on X on Eric Talk Astros. Where can I find you at, Brett?
You can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. The Astros are 1 win away, possibly, from clinching another AL West title. We'll be here after the game to talk about it with you. Show up, show out, be loud. Go get your October shirt. That's right. We are your team every day.
Hello.
What the heck, Eric? Eric, come on, dude. You're falling apart.
That's fine. All right. Night, y'all.